Hi friends, so I'm here to open up this vlog. So, I have started Love Letters for Joy. This is Melissa C's follow-up to Yumi and Her Heartstrings. This is a different group of kids, so it's not a sequel, but this is her follow-up book. And it's essentially a queer Cyrano de Bergerac, where there is this person called the Caldwell Cupid at Caldwell Prep School, who will write love letters, like confession letters, for other students. And one of our main character, Joy's friends, has recruited Caldwell to write their love confession letter. And for Joy, like, she is on the asexual spectrum and has not really felt a strong desire to start a romantic relationship with anyone at this point. But at the same time, she's been so driven by her education that she doesn't know if she's missing out on something. And so that's kind of what we're exploring in the first couple of chapters. I've only read the first 2 chapters so far, and I'm already loving it. Melissa's writing is so engaging for me. It's perfect for teens, and it's written very appropriately for the age group. And there's a lot of fun little humor and little nods to things. Joy does have cerebral palsy like Melissa does. And so just like in Yumi on Her Heartstrings, the representation for that is already fantastic. I can tell. It looks like Joy is based a lot on Melissa's build because Melissa's kind of short. She's a little more round like me. And so I think this is based a lot on her looks, where Daisy wasn't. So I'm just really, like, so pleased and so happy. Her author's note in the beginning of this book, like, made me tear up. Talking about being disabled and queer and how you're seen, you're heard, someone sees you. And I just love Melissa for her little touches and thoughts on the kids who don't feel seen, and I love her for it. And so she's in this rivalry with a guy named, what's his name? Why can't I remember his name? Nathaniel, that's his name. I'm like, why can't I remember his name? I only read a little bit of it yesterday, and they have great banter already. I'm pretty sure this is Nathaniel, and he is also the Cupid, but that's just me projecting. Like, knowing it's Cyrano de Bergerac, like, I can put that together, but someone who's not as familiar with the tale as I am probably won't put it together. But yes, so her and Nathaniel, this is his build and his description, so that's why I'm assuming that. Like, their banter, because they're definitely that enemies, they're in that enemies, rivals stage, and I think it's going to be really fun to watch them progress. I've already started annotating, I've got my little key here, and I'm very excited to keep going. I'm working a lot over the next few days, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done. I'm going to try to update you pretty regularly on this. But yeah, I'm going to take it into work, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now, and very excited to keep going. Hello, I'm holding my camera for a slightly different angle, but I'm now 5 chapters into Love Letters for Joy. I'm really loving it. We're getting to know Caldwell Cupid very well as Joy. And I know who Caldwell Cupid is because I know the trope here with Cyrano de Bergerac. But for those of you who don't, I'm not going to say at this point. I am really loving this. Melissa, the writer, does a really good job of weaving the families into these teens' lives. And the last couple of chapters, we've been getting to know the family a little bit better. Caldwell Cupid's family is dealing kind of with a family crisis at the moment. His older sister has gotten divorced and moved home, and they just found out she is also pregnant. And so, yes, I don't feel like I'm spoiling things because I'm only a little over 40 pages in, so I've read the first 5 chapters. And as always, I am just absorbed and sucked into the story, and I absolutely love it. I love these teens already. I want nothing but their happiness. And I'm just having a real good time. I've got a good chunk of time set aside for reading today, so I think I'm going to get a good chunk of this one in. I want to get at least like 150 pages, if not more. I do read a little bit slower when I'm annotating and whatnot, but I'm still excited and absolutely loving it. I've got my little like key in the front of what all my stickies mean. And I'm just going through with a pencil and underlining everything that I feel needs to be underlined, like the things that stand out to me. So that's what I did with Yumi and Our Heartstrings. And I've been loving this one just as much. So yes. There are moments where Melissa puts a lot of herself on page, which I love because Melissa is representing a group of people that don't usually get to represent themselves. And so I love and appreciate her books for that. These always have great diversity, not just sexually, but also Caldwell Cupid is pan, and my heart needed that so hard. And yes, I just love this. I love it so far. I cannot wait to keep going today. I'm going to get probably, unless something big happens, I think I'm going to get to around page 100. And then I'll kind of pop back in here and tell you guys what's up. Yeah, there's a chapter break right near page 100. So we'll do that. Anyways. So yeah, very, very excited to continue. Unless something major happens, I'll see you around page 100. Okay, time for a quick check-in because something that made my heart so happy just happened, and so I have to talk to you about it because Daisy and Noah made an appearance in this novel. They live in the same apartment building as Joy. It's New Year's Eve, and Joy's wanting to get her dress zipped up, but she can't really quite reach it very well. And she's like, if I can just get up to my friend's apartment, they can do it for me. And she ends up having a CP spasm in the hallway. And so it so happens that Daisy and Noah ended up leaving their apartment to go to their party with their baby. And I love it. And they run into Joy in the hallway, and Daisy helps her zip up her dress, and they just have a quick little chat, and I love them. It was so fun to see them in such a casual way, like the way she just wove them in there and did the quick explanation that Daisy also has CP, and so she understands what Joy's going through. Just, all of it just made my heart so happy, y'all. Like, Melissa is not above making you emotional just for the sake of being emotional. Like, I'm tearing up a little bit because I saw them, and I loved Yumi and Our Heartstrings so much, and Daisy and Noah are so precious to me as a reader that seeing them again here in just a quick little moment to help Joy was really lovely, and I love everything about it. It just made my heart happy, and I had to tell you it was there. Now that I'm past the sentimental part here, so Joy has finally written to Caldwell Cupid, and we also in the book now have the reveal that Caldwell Cupid is Nathaniel. The whole interaction that Nathaniel had with Joy at his house, because he had invited her over to study and set up some things for the science club, and his pregnant sister was there, and Joy was just being really sweet. She brought cookies that her parents made, and Nathaniel's just a jerk about it. And so she calls him on it and she leaves. but she takes her time because the cold makes her CP act up. And so he tries to come out and apologize, and she's like, well, why are you like this with me? Why were you so nice to me the other day on Christmas Eve? Why did you give me a kiss on the cheek goodbye? Like, all these things that have been happening. And he's like, I can't tell you. And so then he finally writes back to Joy as Caldwell Cupid. They kind of start up a little bit of a discourse. And it's really interesting because the two friends that got together in the beginning of the novel are now telling Joy that Luca, their other mutual friend, has had feelings for her for a long time. And so now Joy's like, wait, what? No, it's not that way. It's never been that way with us. But they're trying to convince her otherwise. And so it's weaving together really nicely for that Cyrano de Bergerac retelling reference thing. And Melissa, you're just lovely. You're doing a great job. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. So it might be a little longer than 100 before I check in with you, but the next time something major happens, I promise I'll let you know. But because I saw Daisy and Noah, I had to pick it up. I was going to wait, but I'm like, it's Daisy and Noah. I have to put this on camera. Melissa would be sad if I didn't have this moment on camera. I did text her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're here. So anyways, back to you later. Okay, time for another update. So I'm now just shy of 100 pages, and my tabs are going nuts, just like they did in Yumi and Our Heartstrings. And when it comes to the representation for the asexuality and for the cerebral palsy, those have significantly increased from, at least in my opinion, from what she did with Daisy and Yumi and Our Heartstrings. And it's in a good way, a really good way, because our hero is already aware of what's going on with her disability. So it seems like he's done his own research, and it surprises her because she's like, oh, this just happens with cerebral palsy. He's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, wait, what? My doctor doesn't even know. And, you know, he comes from a family of doctors and things. I'm sure he's done his research because he plans on being a doctor himself. And he's also not going to be staying. We had a reveal in this last little bit that Joy is not going to stay in New York to go to school. She's gotten into a very prestigious school in California, and so she's going to go there. And one of her friends, Luca, the one that her friends thought liked her, didn't take it very well. So it's looking more and more like he actually does romantically like her. And she's like, she confides in Caldwell Cupid, aka Nathaniel, and says, I don't know what I did wrong. Like, yes, we've been together a lot since we were young and things are going to change now, but he shouldn't be this upset. And of course, Nathaniel just reassures her, what you're feeling is fine. What he is feeling is also fine. You are not in charge of his feelings. And he is not reacting well. He's not doing well with it, but that is not on you to fix. And like, he was a jerk to her on Christmas when she went over to his house. And he like asks to meet her before class on the first day back. And he has this like written out formal apology on his phone to read to her. And it's the point where he wants to insert her middle name. And he's like, wait, what's your middle name? And it's just this really cute, mushy, nerdy moment. And yes, so I am thoroughly enjoying what is going on here. Clearly Nathaniel's sister can kind of pick up on the fact that Nathaniel is into Joy, and it's just a really cute book. I'm really loving it. If you're just looking for a good teen queer love story where it's just very casually queer and very casually representing a disability, I think this is a great one for you so far. Again, about 100 pages in, I'm going to take a quick break and eat some stuffs, and then me and my friends are gonna do some reading sprints together this afternoon. So I'm very excited to just do some reading with them, and it's gonna be great. And I would love to get at least another 50 pages done in this one today, and then do another chunk tomorrow. I mean, the books, I'll be at about the halfway point at that point, and I might just want to continue. I don't know. Now that I'm like sitting down and dedicating a lot of time to it, I'm really enjoying myself. So I may just continue along this route. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, I love Joy, I love Nathaniel, and I really love what's going on here. So this is the Naked Dust Jacket, but Naked book, by the way. It has the little imprint of the letter, and I love it so much because it's the same letter that's on the actual drawn cover. And this is drawn by someone with cerebral palsy, so I love that rep so much. Melissa is very like vocal about the fact that she wants people with the disabilities or the sexual orientation to be involved in the process if she can. And it's amazing. I love it so much. So anyways, very excited for whatever's next on Melissa's list at this point, because this one is just as good as You, Me, and Our Heartstrings, if not better. So with that said, I'm going to go eat. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. And I'm now about halfway through, and Tab City here. Just an update on those. So a lot has been going on in these 50 pages, but I was so sucked into it, I didn't want to pick up my camera. So lots of amazing things have been happening. Franny's got herself a boyfriend, which I love. Nathaniel and Joy are flirting as Cupid and Joy, and Nathaniel and Joy. And so Joy's trying to figure out her feelings. I have a feeling she's starting to suspect that the Caldwell Cupid is Nathaniel. She's talked very openly with Cupid, and my guess the third act conflict or breakup is going to be her finding out that he is Cupid, or him doing something boneheaded because he hasn't told her he's Cupid. It's going to be one or the other. Could go either way with Melissa. And yes, I have a meowing cat. And so I'm absolutely loving this. We just had a really pivotal moment with Nathaniel and his parents because he had to help deliver his sister's baby, and the baby was very early. And so he told his parents what area of medicine he wanted to go into, and his parents are like, you're too smart to be an OBGYN. Like, you could be a neurosurgeon or this kind of surgeon. And he's like, or be like my brother who is also a surgeon. Like, no, this is what I want to do. You've already taken basically, they told him it's stupid that he wants to be a romance writer. And now that he's actually chosen a field of medicine he wants to be in, it's once again not good enough. And so he basically has this big blow up with his parents because their expectations, he'll never meet them, no matter what he chooses, unless he chooses exactly what they choose for him. And that's not what he wants. He would be giving up his happiness to do that. And there's a lot of really great discussions about feeling like you're missing out on things and about how romance feels different for everybody. Like, there's so many really great and important discussions happening here. Like, this is a perfect book for teens. This is perfect for who it's written for. And that's what I love about Melissa's books, is they are truly written for their demographic. Now me, I want Franny's book. And I've already texted Melissa. I'm like, I need Franny's book, please and thank you. Because I do. I really want her story because I think I would resonate a lot with hers. She was in a really toxic marriage, got divorced, moved home. She's pregnant. And it seems like she's found someone that happens to be a friend of Joy's. And I keep wanting to say Melissa because this Joy's body type is very much like Melissa's. And the hairstyle is a lot like Melissa. So I keep wanting to say Melissa instead of Joy. So that's a me thing. But anyhow, I love everything about this. Like, this is well on its way to being a favorite of the year, just like You, Me, and Our Heartstrings was. And I'm having the best time. Me and my rainbow tabs are here to tell you that this book is definitely worth your time and your energy and your money, because it is. And I will definitely be saying that forever. So yes, I'm going to read some more of it. Originally, I was going to stop about here, but I'm not gonna now because I'm having too much fun with it. So I'm going to keep going another 50 pages or so, and I'll check in with you. So, hi, I'm still reading. I've officially gone into bun mode, and my tabs are still plentiful, as you can see. I'm now a little over 200 pages in. I've got about 80 pages left of this one. So, I wanted to quickly update you. These last 50 pages were pretty intense for a lot of reasons. The biggest one being Luca did have feelings for Joy. And just after she had a really bad experience with Nathaniel, where he was trying to push her away because, you know, he thought he was doing the right thing, Luca kisses her. And she does not consent to being kissed. And that is talked about clearly on page, where she didn't want it to happen and she wishes they could just take it back. And Luca stupidly writes to Cupid saying, I kissed Joy. How do I get her to kiss me again? And Nathaniel's about to go off on him, but it just ends up in his drafts folder as Cupid. So, anyways, he and Joy, their relationship has escalated, and Joy has now asked to know Cupid's name, and we know it at this point, but it's one of those things where she doesn't. And considering we only have about 80 pages left, that's probably going to be the big conflict here towards the end. And I have a feeling it's going to, the grand gesture, as you could say, is going to have something to do with the valedictorian stuff. So anyhow, that is something that I am genuinely excited to see how things are going to shake out the next little bit. And I'm probably going to finish this today just because I'm enjoying myself so much. I don't know. I'm going to read a little bit more and then I'm going to go do dinner because I need to figure out what Hubs and I are going to do for dinner. And then from there, I'll probably just finish it up tonight or tomorrow morning. I have tomorrow off, so I might just finish it tomorrow. But yeah, I love this book already. This is a very different book from Heartstrings. You can see the bits of Melissa in it that tie the two together, but that's pretty much it. They feel different. They feel like different books, even though the writing is equally brilliant. And I love Daisy and Noah. I love Nathaniel and Joy. I love the whole friend group, except for Luca being a jerk. I liked Luca before this, but, you know, territorial teenage boys happen. So I don't think I'm going to update anymore until I finish, just because I want to let myself truly enjoy the rest of this book. So once I get to the end, we'll talk about my final thoughts on Love Letters for Joy. Obviously, I'm going to be recommending this one, all of the representation for the various sexualities and the CP. And Nathaniel has asthma. I didn't mention that. All of it is so well done that it would be a no-brainer to pick this one up. This is one that I think is going to need a lot of love, and June is the perfect month to pick up your copy. And again, it's bright pink underneath with this embossed letter on it, and I love that. So anyhow, I'm off to go finish this adorable book, and when I'm finished, I will be back. Hi, friends. So it is the next morning. I am all fresh and clean for the day, ready to go. And I am here to wrap up this vlog. I did finish Love Letters for Joy. I have a beautiful set of rainbow tabs for this fantastic book. And this went down in a way that I absolutely loved and adored. I love everything about this book. It's a 10 out of 5 stars. Like, it is a favorite of the year read at this point. So in the last 80 pages, we see Luca's true colors, is all I'll say. Luca says some really awful and harmful things to Joy, not only for her queerness, but for her disability. And Luca basically felt entitled to Joy, and that Joy was supposed to be with him just because they'd been friends forever. And it was really, really sad to watch Luca fall apart in that way. But at the same time, at this pivotal juncture in a teen's life, that is a realistic thing that could be happening. The way that Nathaniel is outed as Caldwell Cupid is done externally. He was going to tell her everything, but they were bonding so well and having such a good time that they ended up not being able to confess to Joy in the way they wanted. And so they were getting ready to tell her, and that's when he was publicly outed. And so they had a bit of a rocky road to get there. Nathaniel is basically forced out of the closet because of Luca's actions, and he has a really bad coming out experience with his parents where he's kicked out. And so this book deals with some really heavy things towards the end of it. But at the same time, like, there is this joy and hope woven through it because Nathaniel's siblings all have his back. He has a brother who's gay, and so he immediately goes to his brother's house, explains what happened, and his brother and his now fiance take him in and are just amazingly supportive and good and take care of him. The moment he tells Joy what happened was really good. She was very supportive. I mean, both of her parents are queer, and so she didn't have that kind of a coming out experience. And so, yeah, it's done so well. Like, I have nothing but love and respect for Melissa in the way she's written her stories to include queerness, to include disability, and about all of the amazing things that teens go through these days. This was done beautifully. I have zero regrets about reading it. I can tell you this book is beautiful all day long, but you won't believe me unless you take the time to read it yourself. This is the perfect time of year for this kind of a story. It is perfect for Pride Month. Use up your rainbow tabs. Go read Love Letters for Joy. This was truly a beautiful YA contemporary, written perfectly for its audience, in my opinion. And it's very relatable, very emotional. And I did shed tears by the end, which is why you're seeing me the next day, because I did finish this last night. So with that said, that is everything I have for today. Leave me your favorite Cupid emoji if you're here just because you love me, but I would highly recommend going and picking up Love Letters for Joy. I will leave a link down below for it, so feel free to go check this out, go read it, find it in your library or request it at your library if they don't have it, because I think a lot more teens need to be reading this because it's very casually queer. It's not about being queer necessarily, though queerness is definitely woven throughout. But yes, so good. 10 out of 10 recommend. And thanks for stopping by. If you are interested in some more videos like this, consider becoming a channel member. I do some exclusive vlogs for my members, and that might be a really good way to get a little extra content. So thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.
It's been raining for days now, been running like a child. Can't feel the cold, well, I'm lost here with you, lost in the woods, lost as I should.